Beach FM, locals talking to locals.
Morning, Nige. Yes, indeed, it is definitely progressing. And I might actually say there's a little bit of precipitation this morning as well. As I arrived at Pawatahanui, we started to get raindrops falling on our heads. Now, not worrying about that right now because we're safe and sound and all nice and dry inside, because I'm talking with John Humphries, who's actually the Contractor's project manager for the Wellington Gateway Partnership. So, good morning, John. And it seems that as the Contractor's project manager, that's a pretty big mouthful, a pretty big title. What does it mean?
Oh, it certainly is. Well, good morning. So from my perspective, my role is really around being responsible for delivery and the operation and the maintenance of the road when we open in 2020.
Okay, so you've obviously been involved with the Transmission Gully project long before even the first sod was turned by Nathan Guy and Prime Minister John Key back in, 2014. What sorts of things have you been involved with to ensure that the project happened at all?
So early on, it was really around supporting the individual tenderers when I was working with KiwiRail. We've got quite a significant interface down in the Kenepuru area where we've got a link road between the motorway and the Kenepuru Hospital. And at that time, it was supporting the two tenderers to figure out how they're going to build a bridge over the railway.
So you were actually part of KiwiRail, not part of the project itself?
Back then, yeah. So the project was such a large thing in the region, and it required a lot of different government agencies and private contractors to come together and actually figure out this really complicated job.
Wow, very cool. Okay, so your brief then is to deliver the whole project on time, on budget for NZTA. Isn't that a huge amount of responsibility for just one person?
Well, it sounds a lot, but I've got two very good key subcontractors in CPP HEB, who's our joint venture for our builder, as well as Ventia, who will operate the road for 25 years from when we open.
Because that's actually really important. Once the road's open, you've got to look after it still.
That's correct. So we'll operate this road to a very high level of standard, and we'll make sure that this road operates, so from the cameras to the signs, right through to the sweeping of the road and maintaining the road and setting it for 25 years.
Cool. Okay. So what are some of the trickier things that you've had to handle in the project? Because this project seems to be breaking all manner of records, both Kiwi-wide and actually regional-wide.
Yeah, we certainly do. So probably the biggest thing that we tackle here is resilience. So one of the big parts of Transmission Gully is providing an alternate route north during those seismic events and storm events. So from our point of view, we look at our signature bridge at Bridge 20 up in Cannons Creek, just the bearings alone. So there's only one place in the world that can manufacture them in Spain, and we have to ship them to North America to test them, to ship them back to New Zealand to actually put them in. So right through from that through to actually working out how we do our earthworks, so making sure that they stand up to those really big earthquakes that we do experience here in Wellington, so that when they do happen, we actually still have a viable route north and south.
That's astounding. You've got bearings that are built in Spain and they have to be tested in America. How come?
Well, because there's nowhere else in the world that can do it. So when we talk about what we need to do with these bearings, whether they need to go up, down, left or right, the loading and the strength that they have to produce, nowhere else in the world does it.
Good grief, and we're getting those here at Cannons Creek. That's pretty cool. Last thing, I guess, you must have been part of this Gateway project in one of the first ones involved in it back in 2013. Will you also be one of the last in the lineup to turn the lights out when it's all finished?
I'll do pretty good. I'll be 60 by then, but I'm certainly here for the foreseeable future, and a big part of my role is not only delivering it, but actually getting it into service and then getting into operations as well. So I'll have my finger on the switch as long as I possibly can.
So last question, I know it wasn't on the script, but are we on track?
Certainly are. We've had a fantastic season over Christmas. We had a really ambitious earthworks target, which we've met, and we're lining ourselves up for winter, and we believe we'll get another good winter's work ahead of us.
Brilliant stuff. There you go. You heard it from John Humphries, the Contractor's project manager for the Wellington Gateway Partnership. Thanks for your time this morning.
Thanks very much.
And I'm Crispy for the very best little radio station around, Beach FM 106.3.
106.3 Beach FM.